Welcome into this Womply PPP review update where I'm going to be revealing all there is to know about this payment protection program, the pros and the cons. Is it right for you? Especially the alternatives if you cannot get one. You're going to want to really listen in on that because that is what's going to help you build, grow, expand, and even get out of a tight pinch much faster. But before I get started, if this is the first time you're watching me, I do come out with videos like this on small business funding, types of small business loan programs, the payment protection program updates, SBA, all other opportunities included. So if you don't want to miss a single video I come out with, make sure you subscribe and also click on the bell notification icon. That way you're notified every time I come up with a new video. And so you're just staying on track of what's happening with the PPP program on different types of platforms. I know Womply is one of many, and I'm going to cover why they are a great one to go with here. Now, before I get started, you're looking at the dashboard. Let me just give you a little bit of background of what Womply is, who they are. So they are a customer relationship management tool, a software that helps small businesses just like yourself with reputation management, email marketing, business intelligence, dynamic customer, and so forth. So if you're looking at it from that point of view as a small business owner, I know I would be, and like with time management and with my energy, and if I want to get help being able to be more systematic, this is a great solution. That's what CRMs are for. But without going on a tangent on that, so far, you have different companies like nonprofits, micro lenders that do similar things where they will offer a SBA, PPP, other types of small business loan programs within their company to give you relief, okay, during COVID and other times. So it's a very common thing to do. And I've done reviews of other programs like that in the past. One of those being like Acorn, and then you have Kiva, you have many more of them, okay? But without going into that, let's start with this. So the PPP Fastlane login. Okay, this is the dashboard here you will likely go into. And who is Womply for? This is mainly for Schedule C filers. We're talking about sole proprietors. Okay, you're self-employed, an independent contractor, not limited to, but what I'm saying is they work much faster for them, and they're one of the faster services. And we're talking about many different ones, like maybe Bluevine, SmartBiz, a whole bunch of other ones. They are one of the faster ones for Schedule C filers from what I've seen. And when it comes to not being in that category, so if you're like an S Corp, a C Corp, or you're in a partnership with another person, then it's likely not the best solution for you. There are other options out there. I've done reviews for other programs. I'll leave them down below in the description so you can either watch them or review from a blog post perspective. But at the time of me making this video, this isn't open. It is September 27, 2021 at about 12:02 p.m. And I want to be as transparent. And I know you're thinking that's a no-brainer. So what more information can you give me? Which I'm going to get to, especially with the alternatives. So here, stick with me. So this is just a process of what it looks like, what you'll likely come to this page for. And then if we click on the PPP Fast login, so you'll enter the mobile number you verified when you started your PPP Fastlane application. And if you haven't, I wouldn't bother at this specific time. But if you want to be kept up to date on the latest PPP information, which I usually do with everybody, make sure you subscribe, okay? And then I'll also try to leave like a little newsletter down below so you can go ahead and get into that. And so I can keep you up to date on when it's available, when you should go and apply, what are the alternatives right now, especially, which I'll get to. So we just saw here, this is how you can get started or log back in, get PPP support, and you can see the full website. So PPP support, FAQs, forgiveness for pre-application and applying. Well, Womply Fastlane submits my forgiveness application for me. Let's look at that. Womply is not involved with PPP forgiveness. Please contact your PPP lender for information on the forgiveness process. If your lender has opted in, you can apply for via the SBA's direct forgiveness portal, which is a very common thing. And there'll be more information I'll leave on in the description down below for this. Where can you apply for a PPP loan forgiveness? You can apply for a loan as soon as all of your loan proceeds have been used, which at the earliest is the first day after you selected covered period, the 24-week period after your PPP loan is funded. However, you must apply for a loan forgiveness within 10 months of the last day of your covered period in order to receive a deferment, on your loan payments. How do you apply? Just FAQs here. We'll scroll up a little bit. So that's just a bit of information there. If you'd like to know more, I'll leave this FAQ down below. But what do we do? What should you do as an alternative option? Okay, you're stuck here. You're thinking, where do I go? What are the other common small business loans? Can I get government help? So one thing to do is you can turn to the SBA, and even with micro lending solutions, there's these micro lenders out there that will help you. So you have things like the SBA 7A, you have the 504, many more of them, like the EIDL is a very common one people will turn to. Disaster loans, that's one you can get into. I'll leave some of that information down below again in the description, so you could check the SBA micro lending options for you. In case you're a startup and you're also looking for other options out there, then I'll leave that again down below. You can also pick up my free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist, which is going to go in depth specifically to show you step by step how to get approved for a loan for a certain type of lending solution, right? Because everybody who goes in to apply for something doesn't get approved because they don't understand the process, and it's going to apply to any type. So this is very important for you in your education to understand, okay, what do I need to do before I go and start my application? Because maybe you have already, you've just not been able to get through, you've been disapproved, and it's just frustrating for you and painful to go through it once again. I know the feeling. Don't worry, that's there for you down below in the description. Pick up my free 6-step pre-approval checklist with a lot of bonus content in there showing you the different routes you can go into. It's best for you and your type of industry. So that covers it. And then we have, aside from the SBA and the micro lending options like Acion, Kiva, and a few other ones out there, you have things like grants. You can go through the grants. You have a Chamber of Commerce with local support. That's another option to go into. Who have other options like the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, may not be open at this time, but if it is, then that's something you can get into if you're in the restaurants industry or any type of food service. You could do any type of business credits if you want to build and max out a credit card, so then you can be able to pay back in monthly installments and then be able to get that towards working capital, whatever you need it for, to buy some type of an equipment. You can do that as well. A business line of credit is a great option to get into. It's a hybrid of business credit cards and just working capital. You can get some revolving credit lines, and then you can use to get any type of equipment, working capital, and it also helps build your credit, your business and personal credit as well. So there are those options on the table. Another common one that I'm very fanatic of is using a merchant cash advance. So if you're somebody who needs funding today, if you can answer the question, if I need funding today, what do I go to? Then a merchant cash advance is a great solution. This is basically where you are given fast funding deposited in your account. And what's happening is that the lenders are just taking a future percentage of your credit card sales just to cover them and for profits and expenses. Very common. They do have higher interest rates, so that's something to be aware of. If you can go ahead and get the funding and ensure that you can pay back the loan, if it is a monthly, usually they're monthly, then you can do that. There's bi-weekly, weekly, sometimes even daily. But if you're sure that you can get the money and then use it for something great that will then get you profits, it's great. It's a great return. It's a win-win. So think about that for an MCA. You also have revenue-based funding, where you can get up to 2 million and even up to 25,000 same-day instant approval. So let me show you a little bit about what that is now. So there's a company like David Allen Capital, and I'll leave a review to it down below. I made a video. There's an actual blog post and many different ones, so you can understand it, all the requirements. But this is more for a non-startup. So if you needed up to 25K today, instant approval, same day funding into your account. It's not a merchant cash advance where you're taking away a percentage and it can become more costly. There's interest rates. In fact, there are no interest rates. I know it's very surprising to hear. And I know people will question that and be like, what's the catch? What's based on total cost of capital. So whatever you get, okay, then we calculate that and say how much is your payback payments. And these are daily, okay, at the time of me making this video. And some of you will be like, well, daily? Why don't I would prefer monthly. The thing with monthly is you can go into default much faster. And so it brings up a lot of complications. And when you get a daily payment, you actually know what you're paying back. Okay, it's not like when you get to the end of the month, you're like, oh, I can't even pay this loan back. And I know some of you guys who are used to the monthly thing, the bi-weekly, weekly, will be like, why daily? Why that term? Daily is just ensures better rewards. And then it also helps you as a small business owner understand that you are making these little micro payments day to day, and you can make them. I mean, if your business is going to be in health and in a greater health, then you know you can make those profits, and then you could make those daily payments. Then it's very helpful. So who knows, it might be changed later on, but this is a great solution. Let's go in with daily payments. Very great of an option. How does it work? Immediate approvals. If you're making 5,000 plus monthly in bank revenue, business checking account, 6 months in business, a 450 plus credit score, all industries are included, except approval amount, link online banking, review approval terms, sign agreement online, receive funds. And just to go back to that term of daily payments, if anything were to change, you'll see it in the description if I made that. Simple and fair, no hard credit inquiries, transparent terms, no collateral is required, industry leading early pay discounts, get more when you need it, payment history will earn you more, receive funds again, add-on funds are available. You get a personalized account manager to help you over the shoulder, so you're not feeling alone in this process. So there's a separate video on Bank Breezy. So is what it's called Bank Breezy, down below in the description, as well as for David Allen Capital, where you can get up to 2 million in working capital. So you can learn more about them. But this is a great option, especially for non-startups, aside from the PPP. And I listed already those alternatives for you. This is just to wrap up the video. But yeah, the PPP as the time I'm making this video is not available. If it is, I'll let you know. Make sure you stay notified by subscribing. If there's a newsletter somewhere in the description. If not, pick up the free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist so you know what to expect when getting approved for any type of small business loan, any type of identity, what you need, the questions you need to ask yourself before going in. They're kind of obvious, but you need to be thinking about them and set time aside to answer them for yourself. As well as my alternative options, as I said again, like SBA micro lending options. There's more of that information down below. Startup, if you need that, down below again. Other options, local chamber of commerce. You have grants, the different types of SBA, as I already said. How to build business credit through maxing out like business credit cards if you want to go that route. A hybrid of a business line of credit, as well as revenue, merchant cash advances, business terms, and many more, like revenue-based funding, as I showed you with David Allen Capital. There are no interest rates involved. It's just total payback. And you can get up to 2 million, or you can get up to 25K. There's two different ones of capital. You have equipment, things out there as well. You can go ahead and get customer financing, payment processing, so much more. It's one of my great recommendations. So that's everything about Womply. Thank you for listening in today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to leave me them down below so I can go ahead and answer them as soon as possible. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so you can get notified of PPP loans, SBAs, all other types of small business lending, and to really be in the know, pick up again that checklist, look for the other resources in the description. And that's it. Thank you for watching.